been getting more realizations of what trading is, and hopefully I can fix your psychology or help you with your psychology in training in trading. Coming in, let's just state this. No one knows when the stock is going to go up or down. No one knows the next move. But I get it now. The whole point of trading is probability. Probability is trading. Okay. That's why risk management is important. And people don't like hearing that, because people don't like hearing things like that, because it's hard. The risk management, that's the main thing of trading, is the risk management, because it's how much you're going to lose and how much you're going to win, and how much money are you going to lose and how much money you're going to win. When you start thinking in probabilities, it starts to make sense. It starts to make sense why risk management is important. It starts to make sense why stop losses are important. The whole game of trading is probabilities. You don't know if you're going to be right and you don't know if you're going to be wrong. But certain setups and certain strategies, as we say, there's a higher probability of it working than not. That's why when you see a setup, you take it. And you don't get scared, because you know why? It's just a probability. When you start to feel and start to think that you are right, or this trade that you're taking should be right, that's when you get scared. What helps me a lot of the time is when I get that emotion of being afraid, I think back to what trading is. It's just a probability. I don't know if it's going to go up and I don't know if it's going to go down. How many times has the market came close to your stop loss and you thought you were going to get stopped out, but you didn't? And then it eventually went up to take profit. But how many times has it almost went up to take profit, but then it came down at break even or went to your stop loss? It's just a probability game. So that's why it's hard. That's what you need to work on. Just start thinking that it's a probability. That's it. That's how you're going to eliminate your fear, or at least deal with it a little bit more. You can't eliminate it completely, because, you're a human at the end of the day. So, but that's one thing that helped me a lot. The first tip in psychology wise is to start thinking probabilities. You got to realize that no matter what setup, that's why people call it gambling, because you don't know what's going to happen next. That's why any trade you take, you got to think more like there's more chance of it working than not, versus, all right, the setup is there, it's going to work. You get what I'm saying? I'm going to say that one more time. You have to start thinking like, when the setup is there, what goes in your mind should be, I'm taking this trade because there is a higher probability of it working, versus when you see the setup, you would think it will work. And then that's it. Because when you start to think and feel that the setup that you're taking will work, is when the fear kicks in, when it's going against you. Because you're expecting it to work. That's why you're scared. People get scared because things aren't going their way as they expected. That's why you get scared. That's why there is fear. When people say you have to control your emotions, the way you control your emotion starts off on how you think. So when you start thinking like, all right, I'm going to take the trade setup, I'm going to take it almost every time. I'm not going to take it every time because I'm a human, not a robot. But but I'm going to take it almost every time because there is a higher probability of it working than not. So that's why I will take it. That's why some of the setups that you take, some of them that don't work will work other times, and vice versa. Sometimes you take a setup that will work, that will completely not work the next time, even though it looks the same. This is probability. When you get into a trade, you have to think, all right, this is a higher chance of it working. That's why they say you have to be okay with losing your money. When you go to the casino and you're playing blackjack, most of the time people are not scared of losing because they know they're probably gonna lose, or there's a higher chance of them losing. I'm not saying take a trade and just think you're gonna lose, but know that you can, because this is a probability game. Your setups are not be all, done all, whatever the fuck the saying goes. Be all, done all, whatever. That's what I started realizing. But it also goes back to the fact that you can't be reckless. The reason you trade the setup that you are practicing is because it's a higher probability of it working out. So why would you get into a trade knowing that the probabilities are lower? Why would you get into a trade knowing your probability of winning is lower? That doesn't make sense. And that's how you stop yourself from doing dumb shit. First, you pick a strategy that you like and understand, and then you study it, then you practice it, and then you execute it. And then you take that setup every time you see it, or almost every time, depending on the scenario. Mine's more support, resistance, supply, demand, double top, double bottoms. So I'm not going to take it 100% every time because you have to, look. That's why it's hard to completely just teach day trade, because you got to just have experience, because you got to see what's going on, the momentum. But let's go back to the psychology. Another tip I'm trying to think of is just the fact that you just have to be okay with being wrong. You have to find out your problem. I want you to deeply think of why you're scared of being wrong. Deeply think. It's because you don't want to lose the money? Is it because you just don't want to be wrong? Is it because you're trying to prove people wrong? So this trade has to work so you can prove them wrong. Is it because you're telling people you're a day trader and you have to show proof, so you're scared of being wrong? See, now you're fucking up your brain, because now you forgot what trading really is. Because now you want to prove people wrong when in fact the game of trading is just probabilities. Now you will get into a trade that has a less probability of winning, and why would you do that? When you start thinking of all these other extra things, this is when it starts to mess with your brain. And when it starts to mess with your brain, you start to take dumb setups. And then it goes back to step one. You only trade the setups that you know. And you trade it almost every time because there's a higher chance of it winning. So when you really start thinking how fear plays into trading, you realize how it makes sense. I'm going to go over it one more time. I'm going to explain the fear. So imagine you have the fear of losing. Imagine you have the fear of proving people wrong and it's not working, right? So I'm going to reword that. I'm trying to explain this as simple as possible. Imagine, so this is how the fear works, okay? This is what I'm realizing. Your fear that you have, whether that's you not want to be wrong, whether that's you not want to lose money, whether that's you trying to prove people wrong and it's not working, When you have that fear, it makes you start thinking less. It makes you scared. So it makes you get out of trades early or get into early. When in fact, you were supposed to get into the trade when you saw your setup. But now you're not seeing your setups because now you're scared. You're not following your plan. You get what I'm saying? That's why psychology is so important. When you start to change the way you think in trading, that's when you start to win. Because it's really as simple as this. You see your setup, you take it. Correct stop loss, correct take profit. You just do it over and over and over again. And when you have a strategy over a long period of time, it works out. And that's how you become profitable. Because you know you're not going to win every trade. When I look back at my trades, I usually have a 50 to 60 win percentage. On a good day, 70. I mean, like on a super, super good day, 70 win percentage. It's usually 50 to 60. But that's simple. Simple as that. I'm going to tell you this. Trading is this. Find a strategy, study it, practice it. When you see the setup, you take it. Stop loss, take profit. And you do it over and over and over and over and over again. You see the setup, you take it. No hesitation. The reason they say no hesitation is because you don't know if it's going to work, because trading is probability. I hope that helped a little bit. I hope that helped with something. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.